Let's take a look at this application of integration question. For part A, find the exact value of this simple integral here. And we have a pi integrate 1 to 6 of x cubed dx. And after integrating this, we have a pi x to the power 4 over 4. And subbing in the limits, we have a pi 6 to the power 4 over 4 minus 1 to the power 4 over 4. And pressing this into the calculator, we have a 1295 pi over 4. For part B of this question, we are looking at this kind of specific question whereby they are asking us to make use of rectangles to estimate the area or the volume. We are looking at the estimation of volume in this question here. We have this equation y equal to x to the power 3 over 2, and the region between the curve x equal to 1 and x equal to 6 is denoted by this symbol r, and we are required to estimate the volume of the solid when r is rotated 2 pi radians about the x-axis. And the region r is being split into n vertical strips of equal width as shown in the diagram below. If you were to imagine, if we are using one rectangle, if we were to spin it around the x-axis, it will generate for us a volume of a disc or volume of a cylinder. And the equation is given to be pi r square h. So when the rectangle is being rotated 2 pi radian, we will result in a circular disc, and the sum of this n circular discs of equal thickness or the width is denoted by the symbol V. Suppose V give an overestimation of the volume that is being formed. We are supposed to show this particular result here. If we were to look at the one piece of rectangle here, we can see that in this particular case, it will result in an overestimation, because if we were to imagine, if we spin this rectangle about the x-axis, there will be an extra region that is being rotated. So this region rotated for each of them, right, will generate for overestimation kind of situation here. And if we were to make use of this formula here, we have to recognize that in this case, this r is the radius of the disc. And the radius of the disc happen to be this. And this will be the height. And this will be the r. And in order to find the correct r, let's say, for example, if we were to look at the first rectangle here, the ordinates is 1 here. We are supposed to sub in the right side of this ordinates to generate the correct radius, because this will not give us the correct radius. And the equation will be y equal to x to the power 3 over 2. So we are supposed to find this particular ordinates here, and since the question says that the width are all the same, we know that width of a rectangle can be found by upper limit, which is 6 in this case, minus the lower limit, which is 1, divided by the number of strips here, 5 over n. So the so-called height of each of this circular disc will be 5 over n. So by adding 1 to this, we have a 1 plus 5 over n as this ordinates to sub into this expression to find the corresponding radius. So for each of this rectangle, we are going to sub in the right side of the ordinates. And for this type of question, usually we are going to do it a bit more systematically. We are going to start writing down the first few rectangles, and usually after writing down the first few rectangles, we are able to spot a certain pattern that emerge. And from there, we can actually kind of extrapolate it to find the last rectangle here. So we start off by writing down the first volume of this first. So the volume of the first one, maybe we can call it a V1. So using this formula here, so we have a pi, and the radius I've already mentioned is this. And if we were to sub this into here, we will end up with a 1 plus 5 over n to the power of 3 over 2. And because we are supposed to square this, let's put a square here. And the height is the width of this rectangle. which is equal to 5 over n. Simplifying a bit, we will end up with a 5 pi over n, and this is a 1 plus 5 over n to the power of 3. So this will be my first rectangle. Let's write down the second rectangle now. And using the same approach, right, we will have a pi, and this one will be a 1 plus 2 bracket 5 over n to the power of 3 over 2, and this is a square, and 5 over n. Why is it 2 times 5 over n? Because if we were to imagine we have the next rectangle here, this is 1 plus 5 over n. To get this one right, I will be adding another 1 plus 5 over n. So this will be a 1 plus twice of 5 over n. Right? Same thing, we're going to simplify a bit more. So we'll end up with a pi, and maybe we can bring this over 5 pi over n. So we'll end up with a 1 plus twice of 5 over n whole thing cubed. And usually after the first two, we can kind of see a certain pattern already. We can see that actually this is not changing. This power of 3 also not changing. The one that is changing actually is here. This is like a 1, this is a 2. So I'll expect my volume of the third one to be a 3 here. So it will be a 5 pi over n, and this will be a 1 plus 3 bracket 5 over n, and this whole thing will be power of 3. Right? So from here, actually, we can already kind of deduce what happens if we were to use the last volume for the last volume generated by the n strip. It will just be equal to 5 pi over n, and this will be a 1 plus, this is a n bracket 5 over n, and this is a power of 3. Right? So the estimated volume will be adding up all this number of strips here. So V will be equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 until Vn. So we're going to write down all these terms here. 5 pi n1 plus 5 over n cubed plus 5 pi n1 plus 2 5 over n cubed plus 5 pi n 1 plus 3 bracket 5 over n cubed until the last one plus 5 pi n 1 plus n bracket 5 over n, and this is a cube. So the next step we are going to do, right, is to condense this entire expression here into a summation. So for the one that is changing actually is this value here, 1, 2, 3, all the way until n. So we can condense this into a summation and replace the one that is changing into a variable r. So this I can rewrite it into a 5 pi over n, which is a constant, summation from r equal to 1 of n, and this will be 1 plus r 5 over n to the power of 3. And this is the result I need to show in this part B of this question. Let's continue with part C of this question. I've written down the answer for my part A, which probably we're going to use it later. For part C, we are asked to find an expression for this. This is the result we have found in our part B. We are supposed to expand and evaluate and simplify until we have this expression, 5 pi over 4, 259 plus a over n plus b over n squared. And we are also given the result for summation of r squared, summation of r cubed. I would say that this part of this question is more like testing us on our algebraic manipulation skill, right? So we are going to try to simplify now. For this is a constant, I'm going to leave it outside. Summation r equal to 1 of n. For this case, perhaps I find that it's easier if I were to shift this r inside. Look at it as one particular term. I think it's easier to manage. For power of 3, we can use either the binomial expansion or use Pascal triangle. I think Pascal's triangle is faster, so let's use the Pascal triangle. So we have a 1 plus 3 times of a 5r over n then plus 3 times of 5r over n square plus 5r over n cubed. We're going to break up this summation for each of these terms. So 5 pi over n. This will be a summation r equal to 1 of 1. So for summation, usually I would prefer to factorize out all those constant terms so that it won't be so messy. Like there's a constant terms here, 3, 5, and n. I lump it together, then I'm going to factorize out from the summation sign. So I end up with a 15 over n summation of r. Similarly, this, when I square 5, I get 25 times 3, 75. And the denominator, there's a n square. So it's summation r equal to 1 of n of r square. And this last term, if I were to cube it, I will have a 125 over n cubed. Summation r equal to 1 over n over r cubed. As for these two terms, we can just make use of the result they've given us. But for this one, I can see that actually this will end up to be something like a 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way until n. So it will in fact end up with a AP. So for AP, we can use the formula for sum to n term n over 2a plus L. So let me just write down this first, 5 pi over n. Summation of 1 is just n. This will be 15 over n. So the formula for sum to n terms of AP is n plus 1 over 2. So this one we can use the result given by the question. Summation of r squared, I'll end up with 1 over 6 n plus 1, 2n plus 1. This one, same thing, 125 over n cubed. So this will be 1/4 of n squared, n plus 1 squared. There are quite a few constant terms that I can cancel, like this n I can cancel away. This I can cancel away one of the n. This cancel away n squared, I'm left with this. And since our final expression is like a kind of expanded version, it's not a factorized version, so I think we can just simply expand out everything and we can simplify the terms by pressing a calculator because there are a lot of like terms that can be combined together. Let me just write down one more step first. 5 pi over n, this will be n. So this will end up with a 15 over 2n plus 15 over 2. This will be 75 divided by 6 is 25 over 2n. And this, if I were to expand, is a 2n squared plus 3n plus 1. This will be 125 over 4n. This will be n squared plus 2n plus 1. All right, so the rest, right, I'm not going to continue because it's pretty straightforward because I can just expand out every single term, group all the like terms together. We will end up with a 5 pi over n. Let me just write down the result, which is a 259 over 4n plus 215 over 2 plus 175 over 4n. All right, and to make into that configuration, I'm going to factorize out the 4 at the denominator, and I'm going to multiply the 1 over n inside. So I end up with a 5 pi over 4, and what we left with will be 259 plus 430 n plus a 175 n squared. All right, since the question mentioned that a and b are constant to be determined for presentation purposes, it's slightly better if we can write down an additional step. So a will be equal to 430 and b will be equal to 175. As for part D of this question, it says that using your answer in part C, which is this answer here, state the limit of v as n tends to infinity. Explain how this could be verified by the answer in part A. So basically, they are trying to find a connection between our estimation using rectangle with the original result. In this case, the actual volume which we found in our part A actually is this result here, and it's denoted by the symbol of a R. And this V is the estimated volume denoted by the symbol of V. So basically, when the question is saying that when n tends to infinity, we are actually using so many rectangles, right, that is somehow packed so tightly within the boundaries, which is x equal to 1 and x equal to 6, so tightly. So if we were to use infinite number of rectangles, if we add it up, it will actually approximate the actual area generated by the curve. All right, so how are we going to write down our presentation? I'll write down something like this. So when n tends to infinity, we are going to extract out the terms that is being affected by n, particularly this term and this term here. So we are going to mention 430 over n will tends to 0, and 175 over n squared will also tends to 0. So eventually, v will actually tends to whatever that is left, which is 5 pi over 4 bracket 259. And if we were to expand this, I'll end up with 1295 pi over 4, which is very good because it's synchronized with the part A of our answer. All right, so maybe we can write down something like this. Let me just draw a boundary here. So when our n tends to infinity, we can say that V will approach the actual volume generated by the curve between x equal to 1 and x equal to 6. In part A, which we had calculated the actual volume is 1295 pi over 4, which is the same result as the limit of V, which is also equal to 1295 pi over 4. All right, so this is how we will verify the result for part D.